What's up? What's up? And here we go. It is something that is rare, hardly ever seen. We're doing a solo stream during the week. I just felt the need. I felt motivated. Please excuse my manners. Before we get into this, let me please ask you to do this one thing for me. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I definitely need, and love your subscriptions. Please hit that notification bell because I don't want you to miss any material that I upload. Please give me that thumbs up, thumbs down. No longer matters. They got rid of that crap. Glad they did it. If you have any interact with me during the stream, please do so. I welcome any and all questions. But tonight we will be discussing, in my opinion, the ranking of the Batman. I just recently saw a Batman movie, and I'm telling you, I loved it. I'm telling you that Robert Pattinson has definitely impressed me. As you see, as we go through the Batman, and this is going to be live action. I'm sorry, but if we try to do animated, it's too many people that did his voices. Of course, we know everyone's probably pretty biased to Kevin Conroy. He seems to be the alpha dog in that particular contest. But this is going to be live action that we've seen on either TV or the big screen. And I really had to dig. There was two from the 40s. One I didn't put on here because I never seen that, so I didn't want to rank him. But the one I did saw, his name was Robert Lowry. He did one in 1949, and I was fortunate enough to be able to watch that probably about 2 weeks ago. I have Roku TV. That thing has a lot of free movies, a lot of old movies, and I saw that, man. It was like, oh, black and white. Um, and the whole story was like 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 45 minutes. And I was like, good gravy. But what I realized is that they broke up little segments. That's how the show was, little 15, 20-minute segments. But they lumped all that together. So the whole totality of the series was like 3 hours and 45 minutes. If you watch it back to back to back, there's no commercials, anything. So I didn't watch all of it, but I watched probably about an hour and some change of it. Um, Not my particular cup of tea, but it goes back to the roots where we saw Batman and where he came from. But I'm going to get into it, and I'm going to go ahead and start. It's going to be 7 different Batman that don the cowl. 7 different Batman. And so I'm going to go ahead and start with number 7. And like I said earlier, number 7 is going to be, no, correction, it's 8 different Batman. Number 8, coming in at number 8 is Mr. Robert Lowry. He did this in 1949. 1949, when this came out, like I said, it was a little hard to watch, a little campy. There's no Batmobile. There's just a car that he drives around, a fancy car. I think it's convertible. There is a Batcave, but it really consists of a desk, like a regular office desk, and 2 or 3 chairs. They go to like this laboratory where they do all their experiments and stuff and analyze different things they found on the crime scenes, that kind of stuff. But this is just, I guess they were limited with their special effects at that time. You couldn't really see it because it's in the 40s, so it's black and white. You couldn't see the color scheme of Batman. You can see the grays and the blacks. But like I said, there wasn't a Commissioner Gordon, was police chief, and he was very sarcastic to his officers and stuff. And basically, they worked with Batman, but basically Batman would do all the work and then just tie him up and then call him, hey, I got such and such at the corner of First and Second Street. You pick him up, and that's pretty much he did the work for the police. There was a girl, I can't think of her name, female love interest that he would have to save, and the bad guy was some Chinese guy. Well, it was a white guy playing Chinese, and his accent was terrible, and the prosthetics they put on his face to make him look more Asian was very awful. So, having said that, I'm going in with my number 8, and that would be Mr. Robert Lowry. Okay, coming in at number 7. This is probably going to be very controversial, but I just did not like this uh, portrayal of Batman. And number 7 is going to be Val Kilmer, Batman Forever. I did not like Val Kilmer's take on Bruce Wayne. I didn't like his take on Batman. I didn't like Two Face played by Tommy Lee Jones. Jim Carrey was the only thing that really held this particular movie up, but he got campy and too crazy even for him, and that's saying a lot. All the stuff he used to make his brain smarter, and then all the riddle me this, riddle me that. Yeah, I know he's a Riddler, but outfit was way over the top. Um, it was Jim Carrey in his peak of his popularity and in his funniness. Riddler is a funny guy, has a crazy sense of humor. But to me, like I said, I didn't hate um, Jim Carrey, but I definitely did not care for Val Kilmer. I did not like. What's up, Andrea? How you doing? What's up, Andrew? I hear you saying Michael Keaton. I hear you saying Michael Keaton. Thank you all for coming by. Wolverine WRG. That was a legit intro. Thank you. That was made by Shifty. Shifty made the WWE intro for me, and then the second intro with the music was made by LLDG. LDG, fantastic brothers. Appreciate it. Um, like I said, getting back to Val Kilmer, I just did not like this movie. Um, I didn't like his Bruce Wayne. I didn't like the suit was okay, but I just did not like it. Super chat coming in. Ray, Patson's going to be number one. You're gonna have to wait and see. Gonna have to wait and see. I definitely like Pattinson. And I when I get to him in the ranking, I'll talk what I'm talking about. Um, Andrea says George Clooney number one. Batman fight me. Okay, I hear you. Um, H2 Basel says best Batman is Christian Bale. Best Bruce Wayne is Ben Affleck. Okay, we'll wait and see. Well, this is my number seven right here, Val Kilmer. Again, for those of you just joined in, I did not care for Batman Forever. Tommy Lee Jones, who was one of my favorite actors, he just was not a good fit for Two Face. Did not like his portrayal of it. Um, Robin didn't like Robin's suit when he first got the suit. Didn't like it. So just a lot of things that were really missed for me. George Clooney just seemed too stiff and manic for me. I did not get that Playboy image of Bruce Wayne. He was stuck up old girl's butt. I can't think of her name, but um, he was battling who does she love Batman? Does she love Bruce Wayne? Then when he found he loves Bruce Wayne, he gonna turn around and do that smile that Batman would never do. Um, it's Andrea. Yes, this is just live ranking. I'll be on here all night if I try to do animated. This is just a live ranking, and it's eight people. Well, actually, it's nine, but the other guy, I couldn't find an image of him, um, and I couldn't find any clips on him. I can't even think of his name. I apologize, but he came even before Robert Lowry, who came out in the 1940s, his version of Batman. So Robert Lowry, for those of you just coming in now, Robert Lowry is number eight. What's up? What's up, Onzo? Robert Lowry is number eight, and I'll just give you a brief recap. This is how he looks in the suit. 1949. Like I said, I watched this about 2 weeks ago. Hard to watch, but he started it. One of the pioneers for Batman. And number seven is Val Kilmer. And now we go into number six, and that would be Mr. George Clooney. George Clooney got the part. What's up, Danny? You hitting some deep cuts. Hey, I'm sorry, bro. George Clooney was very popular during his time, and I think it was Joel Schumacher that said he could see him in the mask, and he put his hand up like that over George Clooney's face and said he would look oh so good. I remember that. So he would look oh so good in the cowl. George Clooney, Bruce Wayne was okay, I guess, because George Clooney does have that swag, that kind of natural swag. Yeah, and women like how he look and stuff. He's been voted most sexiest man alive. Okay, I guess whatever floats your boat if you like that kind of stuff. But he just didn't cut his Batman. Too gimmicky. Um, the fight scenes, all that stuff with he popping out the American Express card and they bidding on Poison Ivy and all this kind of stuff. And we're just more cheesy than more Batman. He seemed very carefree and nonchalant. I know he was trying to fight to save Alfred and going against Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy. The Bane in this was totally awful. If you think Bane in the Dark Knight series was awful, this Bane was even worse. Um, nah, by deep cuts I mean obscure knowledge and info. Okay. Um. Uh. This this version of Batman, George Clooney, I knew why they did it because they were trying to get butts in the seats. They probably think he could pull it off, but he just didn't pull it off. I like the Robin more in here, the banter back between him and Robin, and then Robin jealous because of Poison Ivy's whatever poison she used against she put on her like her lips and stuff was trying to entice uh, Robin and trying to play them against each other using that stuff she could blow on them and they smell it and get hot for or whatever. Then I remember in the museum they had the skates on the boots and they hitting the boots and then they were up in the rocket and then they surf glide, hang glide, whatever, surfing in the air on the doors. Just really unbelievable. Then of course Mr. Freeze freezes him and then he puts him in the water and then heats up the water with his bat laser. Um, like I said, a lot of things just didn't click for me. Um, not my favorite Batman at all. Like I said, he comes in at number 6, just above Val Kilmer and above Mr. Robert Lowry. But no, he definitely is in the bottom 3. Before I go on to the next one, Andre, I like when you and Mike get fired up every time I say Batman Robin or Clooney is the best Batman. Nah, he is not. Um, I don't know if you're trolling or being serious, Andrea. Yeah, really. Nah, by deep cuts, I mean obscure knowledge and info. All right, appreciate that. Josh, appreciate it. Okay, George Clooney number 6. Just do a quick recap. Val Kilmer number 7, and Robert Lowry number 8. Number 5. Who do y'all think it's going to be? Before I reveal it, who do y'all think number 5? My number 5 is going to be. Anybody got a guess? Who my number 5 Batman is going to be? You got 9 people watching. 9 people watching. Nobody gonna answer. Bale. Zach says Bale. Anybody else? Who y'all think number 5? Batman Robin is one of my guilty pleasure movies, though. Okay. I ain't mad at. Ray says Bale. Zach says it's Keaton. Andre says Wolverine says Bale. Well, y'all all are wrong. My number 5 is none other than the late great Adam West. Now, Adam West, I grew up on this. I was a little boy. I remember getting off the bus, hauling ass to the house because it came on at 4:30, and I wanted to see it. I was all in with the pow, the bangs. Then I think that third season they added Batgirl, and I was like, oh man, you got a female version of it, and the Robin be like, holy this, holy that. Um, the Joker, played by Cesar Romero, I think was one of the best Jokers ever. He was comic book accurate. He had the laugh. He had the look. He had the suit. He was just antagonistic. And that during that series, they had 3 different Bat women. I'm sorry, Cat women. They had Eartha Kitt. They had Julie Newmar, and they had Lee Merriweather. All played different versions of Catwoman. Um, and I must say, and I said this last night, and I'll say it again. I got tired of Eartha Kitt's perfectly. We're gonna get back in the perfect pickle. All that rolling of the tongue and stuff. It really got on my nerves. I know it was part of the part, and back then it was campy, and she might was comic book accurate and trying to be that tongue in cheek comic, but that shit used to perfectly pickle. Oh, shut the hell up and just say the word. But Adam West, man, during this time, this was an experiment, big time experiment on the articles I read. ABC did not think it was going to make it stuff, but when it came on there, it became an instant hit. Stars was dying to get on there. What's up, Drop Shop? Glad you're here. Stars from Down again. Like I said, Cesar Romero played Joker. Burgess Meredith played the Penguin. Um, I forgot that there was two different Mr. Freezes, one with a bald head, one that had hair. I can't think of their names. Escaped me. Frank Gershwin played the Riddler. There were two different Riddlers. To get the dad that played Gomez off of Adam's Family, he was a version of the Riddler. Then they had Bookworm, King Tut, False Face. They had I'm just trying to think. There were so many. The Quizzer or the Puzzler or something. Yeah, the Puzzler. He was like super smart intellect and stuff. The Clock King. I just watched that. This is where we see a lot of Batman rogues in this. Um, his rogue gallery in this series. Um, and it was campy and it had the bang pow stuff. But the Batmobile, man, the Batmobile was fire. I love that version of Batmobile. That's one of my favorite. Out of all the Batmobiles, it's probably my top one or two. If I was a millionaire or a billionaire, I would definitely have a Batmobile in my garage. It was just that that awesome of a car to me. But he is my number five. And those Zach said, my problem with Keaton is that he didn't look the part. Bale didn't either, but at least we've seen him work out in the Dark Knight trilogy. Okay. Anzo guessed it. He said, yep, he said West. Anzo guessed it. Wolverine said, I forgot about Adam West. Wow. Yep, Adam West, one of the forefathers, man. He made Batman popular. Batman was not popular until Adam West donned the cape and the cowl. Okay. Now we're getting down to it. Number four. Does anybody think they know who my number four is? Anybody think they know who my number four is? Dun, dun. The Batman inspired the great parody known as Blank Man. Oh my God. Really? Blank Man. What a disaster. Zach says Keaton is my number four. Anzo says Keaton is my number four. Paul says, I know who your number one is. Ha. Wolverine says, I'm going with Keaton. Well, you are wrong. My number four is. It's Mr. Christian Bale. He is my number four. Christian Bale. He was doing some movie, I can't think of it. Natural Born Killers, maybe, or I can't think what it is. And he had to lose a lot of weight. When his manager or his agent said, look, man, you got the Batman part, but you got to put on X amount of pounds. He put on more weight than what Batman was required to have. I wanted Batman to be about 220. I think he put on like 250. And the guy said, look, you're too big for Batman. You got to slim down. So he slimmed down, the machinist, or whatever, how you pronounce it. Thank you, Paul. So he slimmed down from 250 to 220 to fit Batman. I think this is some of the best because I love. Everybody knows that watches me know that I think the best Joker is Christian Bale. I'm sorry, it's just Heath Ledger, and I've heard some people, Onzo in particular, the main man says that you take him out of it, and would the movie be as good? It probably wouldn't. I'm not going to sit here and lie, but I think in a movie like this, you got to have the evil guy and the bad guy, the yin and the yang. Heath Ledger was a stronger carry movie more than he did, but still, I like Christian Bale. Now, I will give it to Onzo. He hates Christian Bale's voice, his Batman voice. He's yelling, "Where is she?" and all. They should have done something different with that. That is, it does kind of detract from it when you watch it after you watching other movies and stuff. Um, I would have done something like a voice modulator or something, or make sure I just do it speak in a different tone or different cadence. softer, louder, whatever you want to do, more menacing, less menacing, whatever. But I would make it totally different than my normal Bruce Wayne voice. But I'll give him that, or anybody that says the way he spoke was very I'm trying to find the right word. It could have been better. Zach Holden said he has a horrible voice, but he still did pretty good. And we saw a little bit of detective work in this movie. I know when he had the bullets, he got the bullet out the wall. He just bat drill or whatever, and he took it back to his penthouse. And him and Alfred did different simulations of the bullet shooting through, and they were able to detect what bullet did this. So he had the technology and he did the detective work, but mainly we saw the fighting. And then, of course, I love when he fought Bane. Um, Darkness is your ally. Some people said Bane wasn't big enough. I'll give you that, but I think he was based and grounded more in a realistic version of Bane, not someone that turns on a pump and swells up to incredible sizes. I don't think that could be realistic, but that's here nor there. I'm not sure what Nolan's vision was, but I don't know if he could have pulled that off and still think it'd be realistic. Batman, for most part, there could be somebody that rich to have those kind of gadgets and toys and stuff. There's some parts of what people say, well, how did Bane break his back, put him in a hole? We don't know where he was at. Then he made it back to Gotham City, and he got back in Gotham City when nobody else could. That was crazy. Nobody could get in and out of Gotham City, but Bruce Wayne did. So they never told us how he did that. Zach says that he was by far the best Bruce Wayne in my opinion. Okay, Zach, glad you feel that way. But as Batman, no. But I feel like he was better than Keaton. Ray said it's not too bad his voice. Okay, Ray. Good evening, sir. How you doing? Um, I love your food. What's up? I love food. Good evening, sir. Same to you. Yeah. Christian Bale. For a long time, he was number one Batman. I think a lot of people think he was liked him better than Michael Keaton, and a lot of people that I talked with say, yeah, he was the best Batman. Suit's a little bit different. I heard some people say they don't like the suit and the neck thing. He's different, but I think he had to do that to function because he said he had problems in the movie, like turning his neck and stuff. So he had to make adjustments um, in the movie to accommodate for his lack of vision and stuff. So the scene I thought was hot, man, when he went to Japan and got that guy and that ship, and he did all that stuff and blew up half the damn tower on there, and was able to snag that guy and bring him back to the United States, and then put him on the front step of the police department. I thought that was pretty fire. So Batman did some badass stuff in there, fighting the dogs and stuff, trying to the Joker and stuff, and fighting the Joker. So there were flashes of him doing Batman things, but I think that some people just didn't. That voice just like really did it for him. Couldn't get over it. So, like I said, he is definitely not my worst. You see my worst, and I will do a quick recap for those that just joined back in, um, or just join us. Christian Bale is my number 4. Adam West is my number 5. George Clooney is my number 6. Val Kilmer is my number 7, and Robert Lowry is my number 8. Now, who do y'all think is my number 3? Does anybody have idea who they think is my number 3? Do. Keaton. Zach says Keaton is definitely next. Andrew says, I think Keaton is next. Ray says Keaton is next. Josh says Keaton is next. Well, I am happy to say you are wrong. Number 3 is Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson is my number 3. And let me tell you, I am a lover of this newest Batman movie. I think it was very good. I'm not going to say masterpiece because some people call it masterpiece. It is not a masterpiece, but it's very damn good. A couple things I had done with it. And yeah, Josh, blowing your mind, ain't it? Yes, he is number 3. Patson, when I first heard it, Ray, I'm not crazy. Sorry. Let me break it down to you why I say he's number 3. When I first heard Patson got this position, I was like, he ain't gonna pull it off. He's not gonna pull it off. All I can see in my mind's eye is Edward, the shiny vampire. He is not gonna be able to pull it off. But I'm telling you, and this is a spoiler for those of you that haven't watched it. I'm sorry, but I gotta say this in order to defend my ranking him number 3. Batman, he is not a good Bruce Wayne. He hasn't learned how to be Bruce Wayne. He's still in the morning. He's still in the furious. He's still in the revengeful. He is still pissed off about his parents getting killed. He is lost, and only way he knows how to cope is to be Batman. He is in year 2. He is such a nocturnal. No, that word always give me. He is such a creature of the night, so to speak, metaphorically speaking, not figuratively speaking, that he confuses his days. He has to write logs and diaries and keep a journal to keep his thoughts and stuff straight because all he does is, I guess, gets rest during the daytime, does whatever detective work he needs to do, and go back out and repeat the process. We've been doing that for 2 years. Um, he, in my opinion, and what I took from it, he is learning how to be Batman. He is not the polished Batman that we have seen in other movies. He is not the kick-ass. Well, I'll say he is not uh, as savvy, I would say, in some instances, as we've seen him in other, as we've seen Batman in other movies. He does some things that Alonzo point out to me, and I respect Alonzo's opinion that Batman wouldn't come and knock on the door and say, "Hey, you know who I am." The Batman we know would find a way to get in that bad boy. The same way Batman got his back broke, got shipped off to some hole in the wall in some country, was able to sneak back on back into Gotham and get all his stuff back. That's the Batman that Pattinson has not become yet, but he's going to become. What we see is a lot of detective work. He knows a lot of things that the professionals didn't notice. And I was like, damn, you forensic specialist, you didn't see that. Batman noticed stuff. He was able to put stuff together. His doggone facial recognition software is second to none. His camera that he wears in the form of contact lenses, I ain't never seen no shit like that. I love to have some of that shit. That would be fire in my profession. But this movie was 3 hours long. It didn't feel like 3 hours to me. The first time I went, it did not seem like 3 hours. Now I went second time with my 9-year-old grandson, and I could tell because he got antsy. He had to get up and use the bathroom, and he was grampy. He asked some questions. He got fidgety. So that's how I knew it was the time because I was like, "Oh, is he gonna make it? He's gonna make it." But this is not a movie, in my opinion, that anyone under 15 should go because it's not going to be the Batman that you want to see, all the action, fight scene, all that kind of stuff. You're not going to see that. I mean, not in a fantastical way. You're going to see it in a realistic way. You're going to see more like a realistic based movie. But anything fantastic, like seeing him swinging and using all these fancy gadgets and stuff, not going to see that. So I don't think kids that young should go and see it because it may be a little bit I won't say above them, but the pacing is not going to be something that's going to keep a child's attention, in my opinion. So if you're going to take little kids, just be careful. 3 hours, boy. 3 hours. My favorite scene in that Batman movie, and I keep saying this, is the subway scene when they're about to knock the man out, and they hear footsteps coming down the hall. It reminds me of like Rogue One when Darth Vader is walking in that dark ship and you hear the breathing, then all of a sudden you see him ignite the lightsaber. Remind me of that because all you do is hear Batman stepping as he's walking up the steps, walking towards him. Then you see the silhouette comes out the shadow, and they be like, "Who the hell are you?" And 10 punches and arm breaks and all kind of funky moves he did later. The guy's knocked out. He says, "I'm a vengeance," and he takes out the whole gang. It's probably about 10 to 12 members, and he takes them out with ease. So Batman, Pattinson, my hat's off to you. If I had one on, I would take it off to you. You did your thing. I didn't think you had it in you. I'll be the first one to say it. I was wrong, but I definitely like Pattinson as Batman, and he is my number 3. Now, I'm going to read the chat because some of the people in the chat was like, "What are you smoking, Danny? I can't believe it." Ray said, "You're crazy." Andrew said, "Pattinson is 3. Wow." Ray said, "Wow." Zach Holden said, "No way." Josh said, plot twist. LOL. Stormy said, "You're breaking my heart. Half-Life is one of the top 2. Well, Miss Stormy, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to break your heart. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to break your heart." Basel says, "Keaton, number 2, Affleck, number 1. Josh says, "I respect it." Ray says, "How is he better than Affleck, though?" How is who? Pattinson? Pattinson, not. Well, just hang on a little bit longer and I'll reveal to you my number 2 and number 1. I Love Food says, Pattinson, number 1, Keaton, number 2. By the time period, if Keaton was Batman today, he would be number 1. Movie Gang Aficionado says, "Show enough." Andrew says, "Stormy, he might be Danny, number 1. But this is his development of the movie. How is he going to grow?" Ray said, "But this is his development of the movie. How is he going to grow?" He's going to grow a lot because right now he's a young version of Batman. This year too, he hasn't been finesse. He doesn't have the finesse, the necessary. He has the skill, but he don't have the experience to see the polished Batman we've seen. He has a very gifted mind because he's able to figure out stuff that the cops can't figure out. But like for instance, going knocking on that door, you know who I am. Batman wouldn't do that. Batman would just show up in there. He would show up in the Penguin's office, and the Penguin wouldn't even see him. Kind of like how the Riddler show up in that man's house, and he didn't even see how he got in there. That's a Batman trick there. That's what Batman would do. Um, Batman would use more of his gadgets. You would see him using more stuff, and he would be just more polished, a more polished version of what we saw with Pattinson. He's on the road to becoming Batman, but right now he's a younger version of Batman. I don't think that we would see Batman totally disrespect Alfred like he did. Like, "You're not my father." The older Batman wouldn't do that, and the older Batman would realize that in order to cover Batman properly, he has to have a foolproof, believable Bruce Wayne. Right now, he doesn't. He said in the movie, "I don't care about the Bruce Wayne Enterprises. That's not my concern. My concern is being Batman, and that's what's important to my family legacy." He didn't care about Bruce Wayne. I think we see him in the second movie. He's going to care more about it. He's going to know that Bruce Wayne, the persona of Bruce Wayne, is just important for his cover as his work as Batman. So he's going to be a better version of Bruce Wayne in these next following movies, in my opinion. Okay. Oh, people saying Vito. Zach says, "I understand Danny, but he killed it as Batman. So I respectfully disagree. He is 1B to Affleck's 1A. Ben Affleck 1A, Robert Pattinson 1B. My favorite part is the Riddler scene. LOL. Hello, comment chat. Andrea Cruz, what's up? Tim Talks. Affleck was good in BVS, not good in JL, either version. If Keaton is 2 or 1, I will respect you forever, Danny." Andrew Caselli. Well, Andrew, if you've been watching the whole time, you see who my 3 to 8 is. And okay, just figure it out. Veto, I say. No veto for you. Sorry, lady, none for you. Affleck 1, Bale 2, Pattinson kind of tied me with Keaton, but give me another movie. He may be the best. Andrew said Keaton to this day think he's Batman. That's how he is. He say sim Batman in the mirror for Christ's sake. Okay. Hey Tim. Hey Danny. What's up? Second Street Marvel. Les Alfred. That scene in the hospital was great. Andy Serkis can act. I agree. What's up, Danny? My favorite Batman are Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson. What's up, K Dots? Danny, thanks for repping DC today. That Marvel stuff is garbage. Watch them out, bro. Watch them out. Watch them out. What's up, Tim? And last one, we catch up. Is it true you didn't like the Riddler, Danny? I'm not familiar with that actor's work. I My favorite Riddler is the one that played on Gotham. I think he is the prototype for a Riddler. So I didn't hate the Riddler, but he was my cup of tea. Like I said, I'm not familiar with his work, so I didn't see him as a Riddler, and especially all that stuff he had on. I just didn't see the Riddler that I'm accustomed to seeing. Didn't hate it, but he was my really cup of tea. I would prefer, like I said, the guy that played the Riddler in Gotham. He is my favorite as to date. Andrew Cruz said, I see Keaton as the villain who overshadowed Tim Holland in his own movie. All right. Okay. Quick recap for those of you that's joining me. Number 8. My number 8 Batman is Robert Lowry. My number 7 is Val Kilmer. My number 6 is George Clooney. My number 5 is Adam West. My number 4 is Christian Bale. My number 3 is Robert Pattinson. Who do you think is my number 2? Who do you think is my number 2? Who do you think? Pattinson did a good enough Batman, Keaton. With my favorite, with Adam West, is an honorable mention. Bro, what's up, Mike? Man, I've been trying to reach you, man, last couple days. If anything other than Keaton is won, this list is entirely invalid and un-American. Really? Really, man? Really? Anybody think they know who my number 2 is? Andrea says Affleck. Ray says Affleck. Josh says, I would like to hear your breakdown on whether they were better as Bruce Wayne, Batman, or both. Some played one person. I will do that at the end of this. Tim said probably Batfleck. Josh said Keaton. Andre said Clooney over Keaton, and Mike fight me. Okay. My number 2 of Batman, the best Batman ever in this ranking, is Michael Keaton. He is my number 2. Michael Keaton, 1989. I can tell you exactly where I was. I was just newly in the Marine Corps, stationed in Okinawa, Japan. It was Saturday afternoon, about 7 o'clock. Me and my good friends say, man, what's playing at the theaters? They say Batman. I say, Batman, what the hell? Let's go see it. And let me tell you, it was packed to capacity. I was like on the 4th seat. I saw this and I was like, I don't think Michael Keaton can play Batman. He's Mr. Mom and he does his stuff and he's comedic. He's not really action. But when I saw it, I was like, okay, suit looked kind of hot. I ain't mad at it. But one thing that I always say, Michael Keaton, I look at him now. Y'all can see right here, him as Bruce Wayne, which he did a good Bruce Wayne, and him as Batman. Does he look remotely muscular? Does he look like he can kick ass like Batman is known to be kicking ass? There's a part in this movie where he holds Joker up over his head like this. He does not physically look that imposing. As Bruce Wayne, he does not physically look imposing. If you see Bruce Wayne in animation, if you see Bruce Wayne in the live actions, the next person who, if you watch, pay attention, you know who my number 1 is. When he's with Clark Kent at that party, he looks just as big as Clark Kent. Not as strong, but muscular wise, he is just as big. Now, Bruce Wayne is supposed to be at the peak of physical perfection. When you look it up, what is his powers or what is his attributes? He's at the peak of physical perfection as a human, above Olympic athlete level when it comes to being athletic. He can bench press without, now according to this, now I ain't never seen a human that did it, close to 1,000 pounds. He has the master of every known hand-to-hand combat there is. Master escape artist. He's a master of disguise, and he's the world's greatest detective. Now, having said that, looking at him physically, does Michael Keaton look physically imposing to anyone as Bruce Wayne? Transfer that to Batman, and yeah, you can be a badass fighter and stuff, but Batman was physically imposing. He was strong. He's at the peak of human conditioning, but he doesn't look like that. That's what I don't find believable in Michael Keaton. Just because Michael Keaton is a good actor and he is popular and he's funny and and cool, that kind of stuff. Hey, but in some of these things, you gotta look the part. That's one of been my biggest gripes. And I go back and I use another DC Shazam. Zachary Levi is gonna look like a chump if you don't get to that gym and call himself facing up with the Rock. If they ever make a Rock versus, Shazam versus Black Adam, because the Rock looks like a freaking beast. Zachary Levi in that whatever kind of suit they wear, I just that just irks me. If you're gonna play these superhero parts, you gotta look the part. You gotta look the part. You gotta put in the work because you are acting. All you gotta do is pay to do. You get paid to do that, man. Just like I said earlier, and I don't want to drift too far off. Mahershala Ali, man, he better put in the work because he got a lot of big shoes to fill with Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, when you think of Blade, that's what the first thing that comes to mind. Wesley Snipes' badass martial art moves. And I know in some of the movies there was computer generated stuff and there was special effects. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in the scenes that we see him fight, that's Wesley Snipes. So Mahershala Ali, however you pronounce his name, I don't mean to be disrespectful. He better be just good. Like this right here, my main gripe. Michael Keaton's a great actor. I like him. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. But to me, he is just not believable as Batman when it comes to the physical part of Batman's attributes. Let me go back. I want to read what everybody say. I don't want to miss anything. uh, Andrew said Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice and Batman. That's quite a resume. Affleck is meh. Watch him out, DQ. Watch him out. Keaton. Mike said, "Don't do it, Daddy. I'm sorry, bro. I had to do it." Ray said, "What the fuck? I'm sorry, Ray. I'm sorry I hurt you, bro. I didn't mean to hurt you." Andrew said, "I'll respect that." Andrew said, "Respect, Danny." David Q said, "Affleck is overrated as Batman." Watch your mouth, DQ. Anzo, great list. Appreciate that, brother. Andrea says, "Andrew, you hear that another bit of Beetlejuice movies in the works? I honestly don't have hope for it." I don't either. An older version of Beetlejuice. My father was stationed in Okinawa when he was in the Marines. Yep, sir. That's probably where you're going to go if you go in the Marines, at least for a year. Um, Ray said the worst Batman is your number one. Damn, it has to be because he came out with the Justice League. Got nothing to do with the Justice League. I want to get to it, so I go ahead and get to them. I think him and Christopher Reeve could have made a good team. Sadly, it didn't happen. I agree. When I think of Batman, I think Michael Keaton and Kevin Conroy. I think in the comics, Bruce Wayne is like 6'2" and 220. That's exactly what he is. Does Michael Keaton look 6'2" and 220 you in that movie, in that right there? He may be 185, look like to me, but he doesn't look muscular at all. And when we see him in the swing upside down, there's nothing muscular about him. To do what Batman do, you have to be muscular. For me, I like Batson, Batfleck, Keaton, Bale, whatever, haha. But our lists are comparable. Keaton's my number one. Yeah, same for Pattinson. I agree. I agree. But he's starting off year two. Michael Keaton, Batman, been doing this shit for a while. If old boy don't look bigger in the movie, that's gonna be one of my gripes. He has to get bigger because I guess kind of like how many of y'all Michael Jordan fans? I'm Michael Jordan fans. Michael Jordan first came into the league. He was skinny, didn't have a lot of strength, and got beat up. particularly by Detroit Pistons. He, Scottie Pippen, and Ron Harper developed this club called the Breakfast Club, where they would work out before they go to the practices. They gained muscle mass, they got bigger, they got stronger, so they could take the bruises and the abuse given out by teams. That's what Batman has to do. Batman knows this Batman, he has never seen a supervillain till now. He never knew anything. They were not on his radar. But now that the Riddler is on his radar, you don't think Batman is going to improve upon himself? No, he saw some of the things he was lacking. That guy almost killed him in with a shotgun, and he's going to get stronger and better. So he finds himself in that situation. He's not. He's going to improve on his suit. He's going to improve on the car. He's going to improve on his gadgets because Batman is always being prepared. He's always thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead. If he sees a flaw in something, he's going to improve on it. He see a flaw in his body, he's going to improve on it. So we got if Robert Pattinson is the same size and weight and stuff like he is, it's going to be one of my gripes. I promise you. But let's go. Black Adam does the rock bottom to soups and the people elbow to Shazam. That would be awesome. If Black Adam says it doesn't matter, or you smell what Black Adam's cooking, or one of his catchphrases, I'm going to lose my shit in the theater. I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you that right now. It might make news. Andrea Cruz said, Levi in the first suit in Shazam was whack. Not going to lie. The movie itself was fun for me to enjoy. Yeah, there was some fun to it, but he got to get better, bigger, faster, stronger. Zachary Levi wouldn't even be my choice for Shazam. The kid playing Billy Batson was good to me. I agree. Okay. I'm gonna answer Stormy's. Do you generally consider the Riddler to be a super? Hell yes, yes. Riddler is a supervillain. You kill people on the mass scale like he did in the in the comic books. I read some of the novels. Riddler in the novels, his own intellect is equal to Batman. I mean, he puts Batman through his paces mentally. As far as intelligence and stuff. I definitely classify him as a supervillain. I do. Thank you, Josh. Leave a like for comment chat. Yeah, I appreciate that. I didn't mind the muscle car for Pattinson Batmobile, but he will have a better car in the next films. I agree. It's going to improve each time. It might make news. Yeah, it might make news. Okay. For those of you that don't know who my number one is, you're about to know now. But before I get there, I'm going to do a quick recap. Michael Keaton, number 2. Robert Pattinson, number 3. Christian Bale, number 4. Adam West, number 5. George Clooney, number 6. Val Kilmer, number 7. Robert Lowry, number 8. And number 1 is the man of the hour, Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is number 1. And let me break it down and tell you why he is number 1. When we all heard Ben Affleck was going to play Batman, we said, what the hell? I don't think he can do it. I just don't. Ben Affleck put in the work physically because he's a beast. He is bigger than 220. I'm daring to say he looks about 240, 250. When we see him working out in the movie in BVS, he is lifting some tremendous weight. I used to lift weight back in the day. That shit he was doing, that's real shit. His body looked like he put in the time and the work for it. He wanted to make Batman look authentic as possible. People think and people say, and I've argued this, no one can beat Superman. Superman is this, and this. Big argument was Superman versus Goku. Who would win? I'm telling you, Goku could beat Superman, and here is how. In Dragon Ball lore, if you get all of the 7 Dragon Balls and make a wish, the dragon can grant you a wish. Almost anything. He can bring back people from the dead. He can do all kinds of stuff. It is incredible, his power. Only thing you have to do is wish to be stronger than Superman, and Superman would lose. That is the only way. Other than that, I'll give you Superman would beat him because Superman is a beast. He's a solar powered grizzly bear. I can't deny that. But if you go by the rules, and I like to go by the rules, he could beat him. In addition to that, Superman can't stand kryptonite. The red sun takes away his power. He has trouble sometimes with magic. Batman don't have none of that shit. Batman is smarter than Superman. Batman built a suit that gave him a chance. Now, Superman at full strength would destroy that suit, but Batman was able to figure out his weaknesses, make bullets and gas to neutralize his strength and make him on par with him. And he whipped Superman's ass. And he almost was a mosquito's heartbeat from killing Superman. I didn't make those rules. I didn't write the story. Can't blame it on me. That's what the movie said. For all of Superman's strength and powers, his weakness, in addition to the kryptonite and other things I just listed, is his intellect. There are plenty of people, regular humans, that are smarter than him. Lex Luthor is one. Batman is another. I'm sure if Tony Stark was in his world, he could figure something out. There's plenty of geniuses. Maybe even Victor Von Doom, Mr. Fantastic. All these people are geniuses that are smarter than Superman. All I'm saying is that Ben Affleck, and I will say it, that iconic warehouse scene, that right there puts Ben Affleck above all the others, in my opinion, because we didn't see anything like that with Michael Keaton, as great as he is. We didn't see anything like that with Christian Bale, as great as he is. We didn't see anything like that. Closest we saw to something similar to that was Robert Pattinson with the guys he dispatched. But I like Ben Affleck better because Ben Affleck was a total package. He is a good Bruce Wayne, believable Bruce Wayne, and he is an even believable Batman. He looks the part. Other people have weaknesses in their Batman and their Bruce Wayne. Ben Affleck does not. He does not have glaring weaknesses like the ones I listed above you. He just doesn't. Um, I'm happy that Ben Affleck and Chris Evans both got another shot at being comic book characters on the big screen after two horrendous movies. People say that Daredevil was a horrendous movie. I've seen the theatrical cut and the director's cut. You need to watch the director's cut if you never hadn't seen it. A little different story, shot a little differently. You can see it's better fight scenes. You can see more, especially the one in the bar. I like it better. I didn't hate Daredevil. Um, and I just read a recent article by Charlie Cox was commented on saying that Ben Affleck Daredevil suit was trash. No, it wasn't trash. Charlie Cox Daredevil suit was fire, but so was Ben Affleck's. So I disagree with that statement, that opinion. Um, yeah, his detective work was better than most. I agree. With that, Josh, good point. He went in there. He was able to steal the stuff from Lex. You know, Lex supposed to have like the best security system in the world, but Bruce Wayne was able to get that, even though he lost it to Wonder Woman. But he got it back, and he was able to break down and figure out who they were. He was able to find Aquaman. He's able to figure out that Wonder Woman has been around for X amount of years. He knows that he didn't figure out Clark. I don't think he figured out Clark. Yeah, he knew Clark. He figured out Clark, Superman was Clark. Um, so we see his detective skills at work in the movies. Um, After JL Snyder joint, yes, I agree with Ben. Appreciate it. Thank you for the $5 super chat, G Major. Thanks for dropping by, bro. I appreciate it. Andrea Cruz says, correction, has the ability to access ultra instinct like the angels, but doesn't have power of an angel. Yeah, but he has ultra instinct, but I'm saying the only way he could beat Superman, I don't think the angels could beat Superman. The only way he could beat Superman was to collect the Dragon Balls and wish to be stronger than Superman. Or just as strong as Superman is the only way I think he could beat him. So I don't know if this list made a lot of y'all happy, mad, sad, glad. I'm sorry, but it is my list. I love it. I'm sticking with it. And I really had a good time doing this. Like I said, for those of you that maybe come in late, I will go down for the one more time. And number 8 was Robert Lowry. Number 7 was Val Kilmer. Number 6 was George Clooney. Number 5 was Adam West. Number 4 was Christian Bale. Number 3 was Robert Pattinson. Number 2 was Michael Keaton. And my number 1 is Ben Affleck. That's right, I said it. So, having said that, do you have any questions? If I have any questions, I will say to you all, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate the support. I had a very good time coming up with this the stream idea and going through with it, man. Those of you that came in and support me, again, I appreciate it. As always, I love doing this with y'all. I love trying to entertain y'all and bring y'all something that makes you think, make you laugh. And I'm sorry, Stormy. I'm sorry, Mike, that I didn't pick your number ones, but you know deep in your heart that Ben Affleck's the man. You know it. You can say it. You can say it after the stream. You can DM me and say, Danny, I was wrong. You were right. I just couldn't say it. But Ben Affleck is better. And here's one of the reasons why.
Be very careful with the next thing you say.
That right there, boy. Fire. Fire. Fire, I tell you. So, until next time, take it easy, and peace.